What's bubbling, magical people? Welcome back to the Witching Hour, where we like to talk about all things witchy and magical. I have a very, very special guest here today, my bestie, Krystal Wray. Say hello.
Hello, everyone. It's beautiful to be here at the Witching Hour.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have her here. You have not heard her here before because, we weren't talking for a little bit, and we're just calling it the incident, and it's becoming part of Kim and Krystal lore.
you gotta have some incidents here and there.
That's right. There's got to be lore, or it's no fun.
It's true. Well, I missed you so much, and I'm so happy that you created this podcast, and it's another form of the Witching Hour.
Yes.
Because, as these people may not know, we've had the Witching Hour, but not in podcast form.
That's true.
Great.
Yeah, we did. We, years ago, we had a Facebook group called The Witching Hour, and we used to share things, all things witchy. Yeah, and I was just thinking about something else, and it just, slipped my mind for a second. Oh, yeah, we created a deck together, too, actually, which we're going to revamp and re-release. And it's actually called Practical Magic, which is interesting because Krystal and I really, really resonate with that movie. We lived it.
Yeah, so we're not going to talk about all those details.
No.
It was a crazy time. It was another one of our incidents, but we were together on it. It was crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Krystal and I have seen some shit. Okay. Paranormal stuff. So we're going to talk about a little bit about paranormal stuff today. We're going to talk a little bit about astrology, not getting too deep into that because, as you guys know, not really my specialty. That's more Mel's thing, and Mel's not here this week, so we're going to keep that one brief. And we're going to talk about some other fun stuff. So buckle up. So I don't know if you guys have seen it. You probably have on TikTok. Speaking of the paranormal, have you guys been following the whole Annabelle doll thing? Do you know who she is?
You know Annabelle.
Yes.
Wow. Well.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You go. You tell them the story, how she's not supposed to move, and she's moving.
Yes, yeah, and then you can interject what you want to say there. Okay, so if you guys don't know who Annabelle is, she is a doll, like a Raggedy Ann type of doll, and she's very, very, very haunted, very possessed. And for years, it's kind of been a bit of a debate because the people who owned her were very paranormal people, but they were also known sometimes to be a little bit on the shisty side. So the people who owned her were actually Ed and Lorraine Warren. But they did tell people that she needed to be housed in this specific box that was blessed by different priests, and they had different religious ornaments. Mind you, that's not going to save anybody, but that's a discussion for another day. But you're not supposed to take her out of the box. Ever, right? Not supposed to move her. And their son-in-law has possession of the doll right now, apparently. So they've taken her on a tour, which is not good because there's crazy things happening in each of the places that they've been so far. Wasn't there inmates or something, Krystal?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how many inmates got out. I don't know. I'm terrible at remembering numbers. I think it was 11 or 12 inmates that got out in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that happened was the plantation setting on fire and basically almost burning to. I don't know what the process is, if it's burnt to the ground or what, but
I think it is.
Flames.
Yeah, I think it is, and good riddance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what? I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, not mad about it. That
You did the right thing.
exactly. Yeah, that plantation house has been standing since 1859. So, yeah, and just checking here, it was 11 inmates. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it was 11. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's also been historic flooding and rainfall in Virginia, and it's still happening even after she left. And upon entering Texas, an 18-wheeler burst into flames and exploded on the highway, leaving nothing. Yeah, I found that one out today. Leaving nothing but the frame, dude, seriously. And she has 3 more stops to go. So we'll see how this goes. In a few days, actually. June 1st, Chicago, Illinois. July 12th, she'll be in Philly. And then August 2nd, Louisville, Kentucky. But there's also been lots of tornadoes popping up in Texas, too, where she just was. Yeah.
Right, and there were rumors that somebody stole her from San Antonio, but we debunked that already.
Yes.
We found out that that was not true.
Yeah, Krystal messaged me. She's like, oh my God. And I was like, hold on. And we had to go into research mode and find out what was happening with that immediately.
I was like, Kimmy, this is pertinent. I am driving right now. I need you to Google this. I need you to find out where Annabelle is. Is she coming to Jersey? Because please don't come here.
That's right. Yes, Krystal's from Jersey. In case, and you didn't know. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But they used to have her housed in Ed and Lorraine Warren's Occult Museum, which was really, really big. But it got closed down. It's closed now because of zoning violations. I don't know. It was in Monroe, Connecticut. But a little bit of history about Annabelle. She's traveled before, but not like this. Like her owner, the guy who has her now, which is, I think, the son-in-law or whatever, he was told never, ever, ever take her out of the friggin' box, right? But he's doing it regularly right now. And he's also taking her into places that have high paranormal activity. Like, this is not what was done before at all. At all. So... And, some people may think that that's hokey and things like that, but I've seen videos of the Annabelle doll, and there's something attached to that doll. Do you get that?
I'm going to be honest with you. I've stayed away from the doll.
Yeah.
In movie form and every kind of form. Even if I see a picture of her, I don't look at her eyes.
No.
I never look into her eyes.
No.
Even through a picture, because that opens up a whole portal as well.
Exactly.
That's a way of connecting with her. So
yeah.
I just, I don't know. Like, there's just something about her that I just don't want to be in connection with. Even though, girl, you burnt down the plantation. I love you for that.
Yeah.
but that's really that's the only I don't want to say good thing because God forbid nobody got hurt.
Right.
That I heard of, but that's I just kind of stay away from that.
Yeah, chef's kiss on that one, Annabelle. We like the destruction of the plantation, but yeah, there's something crazy about her too. Like, I always put protections up anytime that I see her. There's a lot of stuff on right now, so there's a lot of things coming up on TikTok, right? Just automatically popping up, so it's hard. But the thing is, I have connected with her. I didn't mean to, and I will tell you my experience. And as I was doing research for what we're talking about today, my experience is almost exactly similar to everyone else. So it's exactly like Krystal said, don't look in her eyes. But she popped up on my feed and just scrolling, there she is, right in my face, right? And it's like you want to be there. It's like a black hole.
I was going to say, is it almost
pulls you in. Yeah. It's like the galaxy, okay? Like a black hole. That's the only thing I can picture. It's sparkly black. Like, what's that crystal? You know what I'm talking about. The really shimmery blue one. It's very dark, but if you move it, it's very shimmery, like indigo color.
You're not talking about labradorite, right?
No. Oh, crap. What is it? I can't remember.
Is it a form of goldstone?
Yes. Yeah, it's the dark one.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking. I don't remember which one. Is it? I don't even know.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the same as goldstone, but it's dark indigo blue. And it shimmers indigo blue. So that's the only way I can describe it. It's dark and that shimmery, and it just like pulls you in and pulls you in and pulls you in and pulls you in and pulls you in like a black hole. And you just get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And I had to physically like shake myself out of it, you know, and just like, whoa. And I immediately like, okay, I'm going to go cleanse. But there's something freaking strange about that doll. Yeah. And I've never told you this, and I actually didn't remember it until I started doing the research for this. And I had to call my dad because I thought I was going insane. But I had a Raggedy Ann doll when I was really little, like when we lived in London still. So I'm talking, I was probably 3 years old. And this doll, I would stand in the kitchen, and I still remember the pattern of the tile on the kitchen floor, the stick down tile. I still remember. I would hold her up by her hands and like have her feet on the floor, right? So, and I'd close my eyes and she would disappear and be in another room.
You're lying.
I'm not. I promise I'm not. No.
I believe you, but you're lying.
And I thought it was my dad moving it. I thought it was a game that we used to play.
So okay. So that's what, and he was probably like, no.
Exactly. He's like, no.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he's like, how do you remember that house?
Oh, wow.
Like, that's the only thing I remember about that house.
Strange.
It's the only thing.
It was Annabelle.
I don't know. It's the same type of doll, because like Raggedy Ann and Andy were a thing then.
Well, we when I was younger, which is terrifying to me now. It's like, oh my gosh. She had a life-size Barbie. And yeah, it was so. I was always scared to go.
Did the eyes close? One of those?
And she would move side to side. Her arms would move. When we were in the room with her, girl, we were terrified. And everybody's like, it's not moving, it's not. We're like, no, like, she's moving. And we would be terrified in that. Well, actually, it's in the house that I live in right now. I mean, energy's good for the most part. But when that doll was in there, me and my niece would sit. My niece is a year and 4 months younger than me, so we almost grew up like sisters.
Right.
So we would sit in the corner of the room, and we'd be like glued to the opposite corner of the life-size Barbie, and we would like hold on to each other. And it was one of like the playroom areas. It would move, and we would freak out, and then we would like scream and run out of the room. It was crazy, but I don't think that life-size Barbie lasted very long. So I don't remember it for like a long period of time. So like maybe, you know, she told her mother, my sister, that she was over it. But yeah, that was a time.
Oh my. Yeah, I remember those dolls that you laid them down and they closed their eyes, and when you sat them up they opened them. Do you remember those?
I don't. Oh yeah, no, those. It's not the same one. You're talking about the same one?
No, my grandma had one similar to that. It was like,
yeah,
why do grandmas always have weird haunted dolls in their houses? Why is that?
Something else that I had that I never opened. I don't know how I came in possession of this doll, but I think I actually still have it somewhere. I gotta think about where it is. It's like a porcelain, like, I think it was called like a hobo clown.
No, doll. You know how I feel about clowns.
Under my bed.
No.
But like, I was never afraid of it though, but like it always kind of creeped me out. But like, I think it's okay. But like, I think I still have it too. I was trying to sell it at one point, not because I was afraid of it, just because I was like, okay, I think I'm over this. Like just like the energy of it too, just like it was like a homeless kind of weird clown doll. I didn't want that kind of energy in the house.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like clear it out for like, you know, financial reasons and stuff. Because I was like, this is kind of strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I did get rid of it because I don't know where the heck it is. But yeah, I had one of those too, so that was weird.
Is that a prerequisite for like becoming a grandma? Is that what happens? Like when you find out?
This thing. I don't even know. I gotta ask my mother how I got this because it was mine. I don't know how. Maybe it could have actually been a gift for some reason from my grandma, my dad's mother, because she used to send me like a bunch of like collectible things, so it might have just been like a random purchase from a magazine that she sent to me.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah, but it seem like every grandma has a weird creepy doll in her house? So is that what happens? So my sons are getting older now, so when
you have to get them a weird creepy doll.
Do I have to get a weird creepy doll? Is that like a grandma prerequisite?
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right. That's true. If it has to be done, we'll do it. But Annabelle, a little history on her. A student nurse was given the doll in 1970, and they claimed that it behaved really, really strangely. A psychic medium actually told the student that the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a deceased girl named Annabelle. The girl and her roommate tried to nurture the doll and the spirit, but it exhibited really malicious and frightening behavior. So this is when the Warrens were first contacted, and they moved it to their museum after pronouncing it demonically possessed. So her case was blessed and sealed, as we already talked about. And we've seen, like we're talking about, as grandmas have a prerequisite for having them in their homes. But we've seen this trope in pop culture, right? We see it in films like Child's Play, Dolly Dearest, The Conjuring. Robert the Doll, part of The Conjuring was based on Robert the Doll. If you don't know, that's another really haunted, creepy doll. He looks like a little sailor. And if you do anything, yeah, he's creepy. If you do anything to disrespect him or bad things happen to you, like people actually write letters in apology asking him to remove the curse. Yeah. But
the only other male doll I know is Chucky.
Yeah, that Child's Play, right.
I don't think he's actually like a thing though that's like
Do you know what I did find when I was researching for this? 5 years prior to the Warrens getting the doll and it becoming knowledge, right? Twilight Zone did an episode called The Living Doll, and the character of the mother in that episode was named Annabelle.
Wow.
Yeah, I just thought that was weird. So the Warrens might have been a bit crazy, but like I said, there's something definitely attached to that. There's also another one called Peggy the doll. I believe it's also like a Raggedy Ann type doll, and Zach Baggins has that one in his haunted museum as well. And Zach did an episode on Annabelle in 2021, and his car was nearly struck by lightning the next day. Yeah. Someone antagonized her one time and got in a motorcycle accident on their way home, and they died. Yeah. And then right now, who she's touring with is, of course, the Warren's son-in-law, but also the guy who used to be on the show Paranormal State, Ryan Buell. That was that state. It had the creepiest friggin' narrator ever. But he's doing this tour with them now, which I think is so ridiculous because he knew the Warrens personally. Like, he talked to them. He did episodes on Annabelle. Like, he knew the Warrens, like, as friends. So they've told him, as much as they told the son-in-law, you're not supposed to move her. You're not supposed to do anything. And Ryan's on the internet saying, go ahead and take pictures and visit. It's safe. Like, Ryan, it's not safe at all, and you friggin' know that. Like, it's such a publicity stunt for him, and he just doesn't give a shit, and I hate it. It makes me furious. On so many levels.
Yeah, I don't want pictures with any of the dolls.
No,
thank you.
Just connect, like I said, just connecting to even seeing a video, like you can just feel the energy. And please don't take that as a challenge, folks. Don't go out there and go looking for it, okay? Because seriously, there is something attached to that doll. And I have a very, 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 very powerful shielding and stuff. And it was hard for me to pull myself back for a minute. You know, when she I feel like she grabbed my soul. That's seriously what it felt like. Ooh, I didn't like it. It was frightening. No. All right. So, people might want to know, how would you know if there's a not so nice spirit in the room? And one thing is your energy. You just feel it, right? That whole creepy up the neck, sticking up. Also, sometimes the temperature will drop. So you can almost see your breath, right? I hate that. That cold, damp, kind of feeling, right? But, I don't really do the best in heat either. So...
Honey, I don't believe 1 second of that because we did very well together in 1,000 degrees and above.
Ah! That's right!
That time.
That's right! Oh my God. Yeah, okay. So when Krystal was here, we were checking the weather and it was an app called What the Forecast. And yeah, where were we? We were in the 7th circle of hell. It was great. Yeah, the 7 circles of hell. That was our location. And we what is going on here?
Mind you, we're in what was it, negative 40
yes,
degrees?
It was winter time.
On my app.
Yeah.
Right. And when we looked at it, I'm like, Kimmy, this is not, where are we? Where did you take me? What portal did we just go through? We are in hell.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense whatsoever, and it was happening for about an hour. I would keep going in to refresh it because it was an app that said really funny things. Actually, I kind of want to download it again.
Yeah.
If it's still available because it was really funny.
It was funny.
You could have it curse and everything. It was hilarious. So when I was actually checking the real weather, I was waiting for it to say, "Oh, it's as cold as a witch's tit." But instead it said, "Welcome." I don't even know what the words were, but it was
something like that.
The temperature was out of control.
Yeah, it was 1,038 degrees or something like that.
And then I refreshed it. It was 1,900 degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, there's something weird going on here.
Yeah, and the location was the 7 circles of hell. And Krystal and I were already having some incidents with some paranormal activity that was in my house at the time. There was a trickster spirit or something that was here from when I got it. Right? And yeah, there was weird things happening. We're not going to go into a whole lot of that.
It was pretty intense, and we cannot talk about that right now. Maybe sometime in the future, but right now is not the time.
No. That is though what did propel me into clearing properties and stuff like that for people, because I was like, if I can take care of that thing, I can take care of anything. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a stubborn one. That was a very stubborn one.
Oh, yeah. Frightening. And that does happen, guys. There are, not so nice spirits out there, especially attached to substances, because everything has something attached to it. That's why alcohol is called spirits.
Yeah.
Plant medicine too. When you're connecting with plant medicine, there are certain, you connect to the spirit of cannabis, or you connect to the spirit of the mushrooms, or you connect to the spirit of peyote, and they're each different. And there's also spirits attached to not so nice things, like cocaine and crystal meth, and yeah, all the things have things attached to them. Yeah, it's crazy.
That alcohol spirit, man.
Yeah,
It's very tricky. I'll tell you. I've had some experiences with that. Not, not like crazy, but I've had strange experiences with alcohol to where I almost feel as though, and this is going to sound crazy because I know we've talked about this, but like when I've drinking alcohol before, I feel, as though my third eye opens up a little wider, and maybe it's just because I was a little more relaxed.
Yeah, you're less inhibited.
Yeah, and you know what? I guess because I'm like so like, I don't want to say I'm so stressed out all the time, but I guess because I'm like really moving and I feel like really overwhelmed with like all the things that I'm doing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When I finally sit down and like if I have a drink with a friend or something, and then my senses kind of open up, I'm like, oh, there was a time where I was like, maybe alcohol is one of my medicines. But like that's where it kind of tries to get you to rope you in like even further and further. And thank goddess I have not gotten into that, but because I finally realized it, but it's definitely very strange. So I can see how people can get into a type of addiction.
Yeah,
they really try to trick you into it, those spirits. Let me tell you.
Yeah, they do. And some of us are more susceptible to that for many reasons. From trauma we've experienced can make you more susceptible to addiction. Also, what's in your birth chart.
Right.
That can make you more susceptible as well.
But like medicines, let's say like you don't necessarily have to take something
right
in order to do that. Like you can get that. I could get that same openness with just movement. I grew up as a dancer,
right,
and just moving and doing yoga, that opens my third eye up just as much. It's like the alcohol and the substances are just a quick fix, and it's not a forever fix, it's a temporary fix.
Right.
And then there you are needing something again. So instead of needing a substance, why don't you do something to, feel a little bit better? Because, you're not going to feel great after a hangover the next day. But when you do yoga or dancing or anything that connects with nature, that's going to feel a lot better in the long run and be a lot healthier for you.
That's true. Right. And I'm really glad that you brought this up because also the substances, right? That's a lower vibrational fix. So yes, you might be opening up, but what are you opening up to?
Right.
Because you're not on a good vibration when you're right. So it's a trick. It's a mind fuck is what it is. Yeah. And that's what those spirits are. They're trickster spirits, right? So yeah, it's a total mind fuck. But again, like you don't have to, something else you touched on, and I'm just going to take it a bit farther, is, you don't have to actually take something, right? Like you can connect to the spirit, the plant spirit of peyote, and ask it to help you with what its great traits are without actually having to take the substance peyote. You can tap into the energy of cannabis without actually having to smoke cannabis, right? And the cannabis spirit is actually really cute. It looks a lot like Groot.
I love Groot. Baby Groot in particular, but I like adult Groot as well.
Yeah, it really does. It's super cute.
You told me that.
Yeah, super cute. I love it. But yeah, anything like that, you don't. And, that goes for crystals and herbs and stuff like too in your craft. You don't have to have the physical thing there in front of you. If you just call the energy of it in, you can still use it in your spell work, right? So say like you want to use malachite and you don't have it. Ask for the energy of it to come in, or a certain herb, because there's things that you can't get, right? So
I was just gonna say, I make this tea. At this moment I cannot remember everything that I put in it, but it's for when I have my period.
Yep.
And it helped, it takes the cramps away immediately. And there was a period of time when I did not have my stash of herbs that I can make this mixture. But whenever I would get a cramp, I would think about the herbs, the ones that I can remember at least. I have this written down somewhere, that I put in this tea, and my cramps would subside.
Yeah.
it was like the medicine was already working inside of me without even taking it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just an example of what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so, so powerful. Okay. Yeah. Powerful, powerful medicine. And you know what else is powerful medicine?
It wouldn't happen to be my anus.
Why, yes, it would. But not in the way that you're thinking. We're talking about laughter, guys. Oh my gosh. So we were just discussing like what we were talking about next with the astrology, and I was reading to Krystal a note that I had made, and I said that there's a trine from Uranus, and I said it to her like...
She said it very seriously to me, and I was like, oh my god, not my anus. We're so immature, it's probably not that funny. We're the only ones laughing here. Like, the way that she said it was just the way, and like, I know it's a joke, it's a thing, but it was just hilarious in that moment. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoy this.
Oh my god.
So laughter is great medicine. There you go.
I'm crying. I can't even see what I'm trying to... Yeah, the way I said it to her, it was like, there's a trine from Uranus, like the trine was coming from her bottom.
I just want to let you guys know that my anus is in completely good health. Everything's fine if you were concerned.
There's no trine. There's no trine for Krystal. She's fine.
That's fine too. Where are we going? The people want to hear it. What do the people want to hear?
Oh gosh, you know what's really funny? I saw these sweaters the other day that I'm gonna get, because there's one for me that says diagnosed but still insane, and the other one says undiagnosed but we're pretty sure.
I'm the pretty sure.
She's the pretty sure.
You know what?
Oh, okay. So, this new moon in Gemini energy, this is where we're trying to get with this, where we're laughing so much here. Oh my gosh, my belly hurts. Again, great medicine, laughter, the best. So the new moon in Gemini is happening on the 26th, 27th, which is when actually we're recording this. Okay, so it's not going to come out till Saturday, but we're still going to be really in the energies, guys. And it's going to be super, 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 super positive. And it's conjunct with Mercury. Mercury is all about communication. So, Krystal, tips?
Oh, okay. So technology is super important right now. You want to make sure your, what is it called? FYP? I'm not up in this.
Yeah.
I'm not up in the HIPAA. Okay, cool. Your FYP is filled with positivity, all of the things that you would like to attract. You know how sometimes when you're scrolling and you see something that's like not so great, but you're like, oh, I'm super interested, I want to see what this is all about, and then you end up watching like a minute in, and then your feed is filled with all things that negative thing that you just had to watch.
Right.
So what you want to do is watch all of the positive things. Try not to actually scroll so much, because you want to be more into yourself. Anything that you're thinking right now is going to come true.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're having positive thoughts. If something negative comes in, that's okay. Redirect.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you take it from here with
yeah.
that.
Well, this is like the magnet moon. So really, really, like we said, great time for manifesting, spoken and written down. Writing down is so important. It's like being a kid at Christmas again, right? Take your limitations off. Remember when you didn't have limitations and you could ask Santa for whatever you wanted? So go back to that kind of mindset. And whatever it is that you're putting that energy into is going to come to pass between now and the Gemini full moon in December. All right, so double charged for manifesting here. And again, ruled by Mercury, so lots of communication. And we're actually getting a moment to take a breath right now because we've had some really, really intense transits since the start of the year. This is all about truth, and more friggin' truth. Very positive energy. Lots of truths being brought to the surface, the righting of wrongs, deep conversations, sometimes hard conversations, but with super, super positive outcomes. This is a really great time for negotiations. Good progress on the world stage also, which is going to be really, really good because we need that. Also, we were talking about the trine. This is where we were laughing. Okay. So a circle has 360 degrees. Okay. Let's see if we get through this without being 10-year-old boys.
I'm really trying. I'm just going. It's okay. You got this. I'm going to just stifle myself over here.
Okay. Breathe. Okay. So a circle has 360 degrees, right? So a third of that is 120. That is a trine. So there's a trine in Uranus, which is bringing sudden change. Krystal Wray, I'm not even going to look at her. Okay. Internet, technology, we mentioned, electricity, okay? And it's trying to Pluto, which we talked about a little bit last time Mel was here, the death and rebirth energy, okay? So this Uranus trine Pluto means the collapse of the old order, process of transformation, revolution energy. We mentioned lots of truths coming out. Okay, you're going to be seeing a lot of this stuff happening again on the world stage. There's a lot of things happening right now, a lot of public breakups, a lot of like cheating scandals and stuff like that being brought to life. You know, you're going to see all that stuff, you know. But as we were mentioning with the scrolling, try not to engage so much in those things because it's hard, you know, to pull yourself out of it. And it does pull your whole vibe down. Yeah.
And that was actually kind of what we were talking before about the plant medicine too. And like the alcohol and like the not so great substances. It's all, everything's connected.
Yeah. Absolutely. You got to just watch what you're engaging in, especially like I said, right now, because what you're thinking is coming about. Okay. I'm going to use another example because Krystal and I both have it too. Some of our comfort TV sometimes was watching like true crime. And a lot of women do it. You know, that's our comfort. We watch serial killers. It's crazy how our minds work.
I was going to say serial killers, like all that stuff.
Yeah. And not saying you can't do that.
To fall asleep. I used to fall asleep to like murder mysteries and things, and I'm like, Kimmy, I really think that you should not do that anymore.
Yeah.
Because you're like sleeping and you're dreaming about it. It's literally in your subconscious.
Yeah.
It's like not great energy.
No, and you were absolutely right. You were absolutely right. Yeah, I used to watch, well, I still watch it because I enjoy it. We're not saying you can't do it. Just, you know, limit the binging of it, you know.
Moderation, guys.
Yeah, moderation, exactly. But yeah, she's right. I did. I would, you know, you guys, Discovery ID or Oxygen, one of those channels, and I would fall asleep to whatever it was that I was watching. So all night when I'm sleeping, that's all that's going into my brain and into my subconscious is all this dark, terrible energy. Yeah. Now I sleep with frequency on.
Very good.
Yes. Yeah. Big shift there. I highly recommend that, guys. Seriously. Frequency is very, very, very healing, and it costs you nothing. You just put it on while you're doing stuff around the house. You put it on and go to bed. Yeah. Super, super, super powerful. What else was... Oh, right. So Saturn's also in Aries. That's you, Aries. Yeah. So this is all about you right now.
I am Aries. I am the Speaker of the House. Thank you.
Yeah, we do have an Aries representative in the house. This is your time to be divinely disruptive. Okay? Radical selfishness. Lean into your, I don't really like this word, but I'm going to use it, cuntiness, so to speak.
Ooh, yes, I love it. She does not like it, but I love it.
Bold bitch energy.
I was leaning.
Lean. Yeah. Confidence is key, and don't suppress your anger. This is not just for Aries, okay, guys? Like, let your anger exfoliate your aura.
Ooh. Anger never felt so good.
Yeah. Yep, you can. Just do that. Let it out, okay? But let it out appropriately and responsibly.
And you know what? Let it out where it's meant to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't let it out in areas where it's not supposed to go, because then you're gonna feel really shitty later.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And we're also going to be past this by the time this comes up too, but we'll still be in the energy of it. The moon moves into Cancer on Wednesday. So your intuition's going to be really, really fired up. That healthy mother energy, very turned on, very tuned in. So that nurturing, there's going to be some perspective shifts. If you are very connected, you are definitely going to be feeling this. You're going to be feeling the earth more. Like when you're standing on it with your bare feet, it's like you're going to be feeling the pulse of it through your feet. Does that make sense? Yeah. People are going to be more conscious too, like with what's happening with the planet. You know, people are going to care more. They're going to start voicing that again with the communication, but also tied into that really, really deep nurturing mother energy. So we have some really, really cool stuff coming up. Some really, really positive energy to look forward to.
Yeah, I like it. This, like, for some reason, like this, what you're speaking about right now, like, I can't speak. It's like the collecting. Connecting more with the earth and Mother Nature. It actually brings me back to a time back in the pandemic when the earth was healing, the ocean was cleaner. I remember seeing videos of dolphins swimming through Venice, and it's a place I haven't been in so long. I don't know. This was just like the visual I was getting as you were like saying this, so I feel like it's almost a similar type of energy as that. Mm-hmm. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Krystal's also very psychic, guys, if we didn't already mention that.
Hi.
But I was getting that, you know, with the death and rebirth energy too, especially, you know, that lots of the hell, of course, not the bad place, but the Norse goddess, the underworld goddess, hell, Hades energy, all that like underworld, Anubis, you know, it's all on our side right now to tap in to, you can reinvent yourself any way that you want to. And I just got an axolotl, as I might have mentioned. I love her. She's the cutest friggin' thing. And the spirit animal message of the axolotl was kind of coming through, and it's right on point with the energies. So I'm just going to read it off to you guys, in case you didn't see it already on my social media. So the axolotl as a spirit animal carries a powerful message rooted in its unique biological characteristics and significance in Aztec mythology. It regenerates and heals better than anything else. This is perhaps the most prominent thing. Axolotls have extraordinary ability to regrow lost limbs, spinal cords, and even parts of their brain and other organs. And they do this without scarring. So as a spirit animal, the axolotl signifies resilience, recovery, and a capacity for profound healing, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. It suggests that you can overcome trauma and emerge whole and even stronger. Transformation and adaptability. Axolotls are amphibians that are typically retain their larval aquatic form throughout their entire lives. While they can technically undergo a metamorphosis, they often choose not to and remain in their natural habitat. What this means is they actually have lungs and they have gills. So if they did want to have a metamorphosis, they could leave their tank and live on land. It doesn't happen very often, and the circumstances have to be appropriate, and they actually don't do well when that happens, but it's a thing, just so you guys know. All right, so this is pointing to embracing change, going with the flow when it's necessary, but also staying true to yourself and your own unique path, even if it means defying the conventional expectations, which we were talking about, like society things are going to get shaken up right now, right? So the ability to adapt also to changing environments and conditions, and the mystery and magic surrounding it too. In Aztec mythology, the axolotl is named after the deity Xolotl, who's the twin brother of Quetzalcoatl. Xolotl is the god of twins, fire, lightning, death, and transformation. So again, death and rebirth. He famously transforms into an axolotl to escape sacrifice. This connection links the axolotl to duality and the balance of opposing forces, guidance through difficult transitions, especially those related to death and rebirth, protection and the ability to navigate hidden realms, power of transformation and facing adversity, but also being playful and youthful. They have a permanent smile, and this leads to the association with innocence, joy, and the importance of retaining childlike wonder and playfulness, even in adulthood. So go out and play. Yeah, have some fun in these energies. Things have been so heavy. Yeah.
Right. And, you know what I was thinking about as well, now that we're talking about, well, first of all, I know, random thought, but when we were talking about, well, not this god, it was not the brother, I'm not sure. Remember when I was connecting with the pterodactyl?
Yeah, that's Quetzalcoatl. Yes.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
It was funny because she was telling me about these gods, and I was like, wow, you know what? Like, this really is, for some reason, connecting me with a pterodactyl right now. Is that weird? And then she finds out that that's actually one of the animals of, I don't want to butcher the name, Quetzalcoatl? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Quetzalcoatl. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, the Aztec ones are hard.
Right, yeah, I'm like, I can't, you could say them, I'll just nod. But the other thing I was thinking about was, you were talking about in astrology right now, how the truths are coming about and, you know, things are being seen. And just random thought, I was thinking about how Zari is translucent right now.
Right.
And you can't see it. Get into it. I was thinking about Uranus again, and I was going to say because she's translucent, and you can see everything moving through.
It's true.
But it's like, no, I know this like sounds really silly, but like this was my thought process of how the truth is being seen, and all of like the shit and everything is like coming to light and like coming out, and I know so.
No, that makes so much sense. Like, I didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. Okay, so if you guys don't know this, okay, Zari she's tiny, okay? She's only like 6-8 weeks old. So her skin is still very, very translucent. So you can see right through, like you can see her liver, you can see her intestinal tract. And I was telling Krystal the other day, I'm like, you can literally see the shit moving through her, and then she poops. Like, it's so weird, but it's kind of awesome. But as they get older, their skin thickens and their pigment darkens, and that doesn't happen anymore. But she's right. Like, that, what a great analogy. It is really great. It is. I never even thought of that. But like, all the shit is coming to, like, you can even see that. Right?
Yeah.
Even this, you can't hide it right now. Things are translucent.
Isn't it so weird though too that I don't know. Okay, tell me if you're putting this together. You're saying that as she gets older, as she gets bigger, her skin gets thicker. Oh. So I feel like that's also like an analogy for like us.
I see where you're going. Yes.
Thank you. Maybe you can continue it because I don't know where else I'm going after this. But it's just all visuals, okay, man? Like,
yeah, no, and
go
that's,
with me.
I've explained that to the audience before. Like, that's how spirit speaks and stuff. Like, things comes in visions and feelings and impressions. And
Right.
no, I know exactly I know where you're going with that. Like, we're on the same train track here.
Okay.
But yeah, that makes sense. So as the stuff comes out, right, and everything is translucent, that will make for the thicker skin, you know, and the growth. Wow. Yeah.
I like it.
And that there was something too in my notes there where I said, like, there might be some difficult conversations that happen, but it's going to lead to positive outcomes.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, we just kind of experienced that too. At the very beginning of this, we said, like, we were kind of we were having an incident, you know, and it was a you know, a not so fun conversation at first, but then great.
Yeah, like, you know, like, the people that are meant to be in your life are going to be in your life.
Mm-hmm.
No matter, through thick and thin.
It's true.
There you go again.
Yeah, there it is, thick and thin. Yep. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. But
yeah,
you're...
and you'll be able to have those conversations, and you'll be able to talk to the people, like, without walking on eggshells. I think that was another thing we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
About having to walk on eggshells, but then, like, you know, breaking through, like, I don't want to live like this anymore, you know? Like,
yeah.
You'll find your tribe, you'll find your people, and like I said, the people that are meant to stay will stay, and they'll hear you out, and they'll see you through all stages of what you're going through in your life.
Yeah. Yeah, and people circle back around if they're meant to, you know? Like, I always tell my clients the mantra that I always give every single one of them: you cannot fuck up what's meant for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one to always say. But I think too, like, we just talked about the moon moving into Cancer, bringing us into that more healthy Cancer mother energy, right? That nurturing, that Mother Earth Gaia energy. So that's making us feel better about having these conversations. Like, we can almost do it in a softer way, you know, even though we might be expressing things that might be a little bit difficult. Right? But it's in a more nurturing way that it's being communicated. So I think things are being received better. Yeah? Yeah, I think so. But
I think so too.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think that's all I kind of wanted to talk about today.
I think that we did lovely.
Yes.
I hope you all listening are enjoying the conversations that we've had today.
Yes, and I will link Krystal's social media below. And we are actually thinking about possibly, like, starting a segment because she does have a young baby at home. So that makes it hard, right? When you still want to practice your craft. And you're trying to find time and the energy and the space and everything else. So Krystal was going to start a podcast on being a witching mom, right? So, yeah, we're going to do some segments on that for her segue into that.
Yes, I'm so excited and, you know, honored to be here in the witching hour.
Thank
to
you.
be able to do this.
Well, it feels right because, like, we started it together. You should be here. Because we did. Going back to the group, we did. And that was a lot of years ago. Man.
Come very far.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. 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 You know too much.
I'm not going to say anything.
I know
No
this.
comments there.
Nope. Not even, she doesn't even have a retort to that. And that's what makes you awesome. All right, well, I think this is a great place to stop. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the episode this week. Again, look for further visits from the beautiful Krystal Wray. I will link all her stuff below. If you guys want to have a personal reading with me or service, you can contact me via email or on my socials. I will also link that below for you. It's at _Miss Merlin on all platforms, most active on TikTok and Instagram. So I will see you guys next week. Thank you again, Krystal, for being here.
Bye. Thank you so much for having me.
Stay magical, guys. Love you. Bye.